Hello, this is Mark LaRochelle from Productive Computing. Thanks for joining me on this video. Today we're talking about upgrading FileMaker Server 1803 to 1804. The important part of this video is not necessarily what specific version you're upgrading to, but rather we're doing a minor version upgrade. That is, I'm upgrading a V version from 3 to 4 in this case. But by the time you watch this video, you might be upgrading your FileMaker Server from 19 V1 to 19 V2 or any other combination therein. So as of 2020 here, April 22nd, this is the way it's done today. Okay, I'm logged into the admin console here for FileMaker Server 18, and I have a notification at the top right here under my bell icon that says Upgrade FileMaker Server. So it's time to do that. I'll click on Upgrade FileMaker Server. It will direct me to the Claris webpage where I can download update versions for my particular product, in this case FileMaker Server. And lo and behold, I do have a new server upgrade here, 1804. I can click on this View option here to view the different upgrade release notes. And you might want to read through those to determine the severity of what's being changed and what's being enhanced, and determine what would be a good time to upgrade, because obviously to upgrade we'll have to take down FileMaker Server, and that could impact production. With that in mind, I will click on that and then immediately download the Windows version of that. And what I like to do is I like to save as here. So I'll click here and save as, and I like to put the upgrade application on my desktop just so that I know where it is and I know where I can delete it very easily, etc. All right, now that that's done, I'll close this browser window, but we'll leave the FileMaker admin console open. And before I even go and install the upgrade, there's a couple things I want to prepare first in advance. First, I want to go to databases and see if anyone is connected. If it's now time to upgrade FileMaker Server, we can disconnect all the clients. An easy way to do that is to go to this icon here over where the files are located and simply say close all. If people were connected, it would give me an opportunity to set a timeout, let's say 2 minutes, and even put a message in there if I wanted to. But since no one is connected, all the files just close immediately, and all the files are closed and essentially safe. Now, with that in mind, you might want to do a backup before doing any kind of upgrade, just as a general IT good practice, best practice scenario. You don't necessarily want to upgrade anything without making a recent backup. Once that is complete, and make sure it's complete, then you can begin the upgrade process. So now that my database files are closed, I'm going to go under connectors to see if any connections are existing for web publishing or ODBC or any of that stuff. So I don't happen to have web publishing on via WebDirect, and I don't have web publishing engine on either. So those are both off. Let's go to the data API. That's off. Plugins don't really matter as far as shutting them down for upgrading the server, and ODBC is off as well. But you'd want to turn off those connections first. Then go to configuration and finally stop the database server itself. Whether people are connected or not, you'll still get prompted to send a message and create a timeout if you want. I'm going to put 0 as the timeout since no one is connected right now, and I'll click Stop Database Server. Now you'll know components of the server are stopped because the web browser will actually disappear and go to another page. There it is, FileMaker Server 18, database server status. Essentially it's off because the only choice we have here is to start it. So we're almost done here with this. Now you might say, okay, I've shut all that off properly and I'm ready to upgrade. And you would be correct in your logic. You're not wrong about that, except that you'll see one more screen that comes up here, which is one of the main reasons we're making this video. So I'll say yes to update the software now, and it's essentially extracting the files. And now it's attempting to install the software. And look at this. The upgrade cannot be installed while FileMaker Server services or FileMaker Service is still running, but I thought we just stopped it. It turns out that we need to do more than just stop FileMaker Server from the admin console. We actually need to go into the services specifically, right-click, and shut them down as well. So go under this Windows icon and put in the word services. It should come up in your search. And then once you have services here, you can identify the one called FileMaker Server. And in fact, we see that it is still running. So simply right-click and stop. Then it will take a moment to stop, but once it stops, we'll be able to install that upgrade with the installation software that you just saw a moment ago. So I'll hide this window, push OK. This is going to just finalize what it tried to do the first time. Now that it's already extracted, I can go right for the unextracted files and click setup.exe, repeat the process, say yes, and begin the installation process, this time without fail, because the services are in fact stopped. So I'll click Update now. Now, traditionally, the update from a small version number like this is very quick, generally less than 30 seconds, depending on the speed of your machine. The files that you have installed won't be moved, your schedules won't be manipulated, nothing really will change except that the version number of FileMaker will be updated, and necessary components that Claris has updated will also be installed and configured within this environment. As you can see here, in the moment that it took me to say that, it's just about done. It's copying the new files, and we're finalizing the process here. Now, the installer goes an extra step by restarting FileMaker Server for you. Probably a best practice as a general rule that after you do an upgrade like this to restart the entire machine. It's always a good practice to do that, especially if you run into any kind of problems. For the purposes of keeping this information brief, we will simply go right to the web page that we were there before, but this time we'll cause a refresh to happen. And as I refresh the web page, you can see that the services are in fact running again because now I'm being prompted for admin credentials, which I'll add in now. And if we were successful, you should see the server version 18.04, in this case .428, has been successfully updated. So with that said, our files seem to be up and running and FileMaker Server is upgraded and ready for use. Let's go take a look at this update on Macintosh. So the Mac version is similar but not exactly the same. We still get the same icon up here representing a new server. So we'll go ahead and upgrade that now. And we will download the latest version for Macintosh. FileMaker Server. This one will automatically go to my downloads folder as it's designated that way from my browser. Okay, and just like in the Windows version, we will go back here to databases, make sure no one is logged in. We'll close any files that might still be open, so I'll close all now. I'll check the connectors and make sure that WebDirect and the web publishing engine are off. Data API is also off. ODBC is also off. Then I'll go back to configuration and stop the database server with a 0 delay time. All right, so that's officially stopped. At this point, I can open up the installer and double click that and get that ready for installation. Here is the application to upgrade FileMaker Server. This is a normal Macintosh authentication window. And just like that, it installs. So on the Mac version, it's not required that you have to go the extra mile and stop additional services within the operating system. Once you stop server via the admin console, at least for Macintosh, you're able to upgrade FileMaker Server right away. Then after a few moments after the installation, you can actually refresh the browser page if it doesn't already by itself. And the FileMaker services should start and prompt you for a login. Let's do that now. And here we can see we've upgraded to 18.0.4.428. And that concludes the installation process for FileMaker Server. If you like content like this, feel free to subscribe, like the video, and we'll catch you on the next one.